Tell me about your journey to Sam Houston State.
Yeah, so I uh, played high school football, and then from there I started coaching in high school, and I did that. Ran a little like private quarterback company, coached out of high school. Did that for 9 years. Dropped out of college when I was 20 or
Okay.
21, I guess, and so and I was fine not doing that. And eventually, I was working for Amazon, and I was like, man, like this job sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. So I went back to school and I had a professor who I'd had the first time I was in school. I had to retake the class because I failed it.
Hmm.
And this was like right after COVID. So we were all masked up. It was January in Virginia. So it was cold. I was in a hoodie and mask and no way of, I had hair back then. So he had no way of recognizing me. And we're going, he's taking attendance. And I say that I'm here. And he's like, oh, Jay, like I always wondered what had happened to you. I was like, how did you even know like this was this Jay specifically? But he's like, I was wondering he's like, stay after class. I'm gonna chat with you. I said, okay. So I stay after class. He's like, yeah, like I always wondered what happened to you. He's like, you were always like an outgoing kid. You just didn't care about school. And so you never put forth the effort. But it's like, I'm glad to see that you're getting this done. And he like
Hmm.
remembered, he's like, do you still coach? Are you still at this specific school that I was coaching at? I was like, no, like I stopped coaching this year. Back in school, I want to get my degree and go work in college athletics. He's like, awesome. He's like, do you want to coach? I was like, I don't know. Like, I want from age 4 until like 25. I was like, I'm going to coach college football.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know. Like, I know I want to work in college athletics. He's like, well, listen, people always need compliance people. Do you know what that is? I was like, yeah. I mean, they're the ones who like report the violations. Like, they're the police of athletics. He's like, to a degree, sure. He's like, look, here's the compliance guy at our school. Like, give him a call and see if you can like just meet with him or intern with him. And he goes, okay. I go, okay. Like, I really appreciated that. So the guy's name is Malcolm Grace. Great guy, really knowledgeable. He was at Villanova when they won the national championship in basketball a few years back. And so
Okay.
I meet with him and we get along pretty well, interview with him. They offer me an internship and I was like, all right, like, you know what, let's try it. And just from day one, like I loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is what I want to be doing. So just getting to interact with the athletes, with the coaches, kind of get it behind the scenes. I'm in an office that's air conditioned and not on a practice field where it's 85 degrees. You know what I mean? Like just all I'm like, I get a lot of the benefits of college athletics without having to travel every weekend and recruit or be out in the heat all day.
Right.
And so 2 weeks into this internship, our director of compliance decides she doesn't want to work in athletics anymore. So she leaves. And
Okay.
then like a month after that, our assistant AD leaves to take an associate AD job somewhere else. And so
Hmm.
now I'm like a month and a half into this internship, and I'm like pretty much a compliance staff member under my 20 hours a week. It's Malcolm and me. And so it was really just trial by fire.
Right.
Um, so I did that internship, and then I had to take an internship for class credit to graduate. So I used that as my internship experience.
Okay.
Um, and then that summer, I applied for 34 jobs slash grad assistant jobs and came down to a couple different schools. Sam Houston, I was like, Texas is big for athletics. Like, and this is a job, not a grad assistant. So got
Right.
offered the job on July 29th. I got down here August 10th, and my first day was August 15th. And I've been here ever since.
That was this year?
No, 2022.
Okay. So you've been there 3 years. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow. Talk
starting on
talk
year
about
four.
talk about things happening fast. Congratulations.
Yeah, it was
Now
it
where
was definitely a journey, but I very much appreciated and enjoyed it so far.
now where did you do your undergrad?
George Mason in Fairfax, Virginia.
Okay. Okay. So so you got the Division 1 experience right away. So
Right.
I could see how um you would scratch that itch like, oh, this is rather interesting. And
Hmm.
that's kind of the level where I want to get to also. Uh I took an NCAA compliance course at Endicott.
Hmm.
This was back in fall 23. And just going through the course and just seeing how people tried to get away with trying to bend the rules to their benefit. And it was fascinating to me, like, why would they do this knowing that they're going to have to pay for it?
Hmm.
So it was that fascination was what got me interested in it. And once I graduated from Endicott in May, um, I wanted to find some experience because I'm a PE teacher at an elementary school, so I don't necessarily have the time to go to a college office during the school year. So I tried looking over the summer, like, hey, maybe I can get some hours in, just trying to get my feet wet to get some
Hmm.
experience. And I live out here in Arizona, in the Phoenix area. There were no schools that they either get their interns through a different program or they just weren't offering it. And that's where I got into the certificate program at the University of Mississippi. It's like if I can't get into the office to get experience, why not go into a program where I can get the experience I need, and then when the time comes for me to start applying for jobs, I can explain to them, hey, I may not have in-office experience, but I've taken courses and gained skills that I need to do the job that you're asking me to. All I'm asking for is the opportunity. So,
Right.
so
Well, the big thing is like you said, it is hard because a lot of colleges just want to get their interns from their program directly because that's just a direct pipeline. I think
right.
something that would be beneficial just in general for you is if you can, I mean, you said you teach, so you normally have summers decently off.
Yep.
Um, but that's also when there's no college kids there. So if you reach out to schools and go, hey, like I don't want to get paid, like I just want to get experience doing this through the
Hmm.
summer, there's that's opportunity there.
Right. So that's definitely something I'm gonna try again next summer. Just to say, hey, I am available. You don't need to pay me. I just want to get my feet wet, because ultimately I've been teaching for 20, this is my 21st year of teaching. Um, but I'm ready to try something different, you know.
Mhm.
So I'm looking to transition into college athletics, specifically NCAA compliance, just to give myself a new challenge. So, all right. Um, Let me start with the my first question. Um, could you briefly describe your role as the compliance coordinator at Sam Houston State and uh, tell how it interacts with NCAA enforcement?
Yeah. So Sam Houston State is a med major. So right now we have a two full-time person compliance office, and then we have a grad assistant as well. So my role here is a little different than if I was at like an Arizona State or a Baylor or an Alabama,
Okay.
because a lot of those Power Four schools have between like 6 and 8 compliance people that
Right.
break things down. So just to kind of give you some background on how it works at those schools first. Um, those schools tend to break up either by bylaw or by sport. So like
Right.
Texas A&M, for instance, there's a guy that has, let's say soccer and golf and tennis, and those are his three sports. And he does
Hmm.
all of the compliance, whether it's financial aid, recruiting, whatever for those sports. At the
Hmm.
University of Texas in Austin, um, they break it up by bylaw. So a friend of mine that works there, all he does is bylaw 13, which is related to recruiting.
Okay.
At Sam Houston, because we're a two-person office, we don't have the luxury of breaking up the roles quite so much. So we have 16 varsity sports. I do all the compliance for all of them.
Oh, wow.
So the way it kind of works in our office, my boss, Trevor Thorne, awesome guy, knows compliance. He's been doing this for a while now.
Hmm.
He's really he's over all the big picture stuff, and he assists with the day to day stuff as he needs to. So like,
Okay.
um, when a team is traveling for a competition, so they have to submit an itinerary of this is where we're going, this is where we're staying, and he reviews those to make sure it's compliant.
Okay.
But because he trusts me to do my job, I handle a lot of the day to day stuff. So like if a coach is going on the road to recruit, I review that. If a coach is bringing a kid on an official visit, I make sure that I check the receipts and check when they're coming and make sure that they're activated to where they need to be to do that. So really,
Okay.
I handle probably 90% of the day to day.
Hmm.
He handles the other 10% of the day to day and then all the big picture. And then our GA kind of helps where she's needed.
Okay.
Um, so with the enforcement process specifically, being part of a lot of the day to day stuff, and I like the legislative side of compliance. That's the side that I probably like the most because the daily monitoring, I mean, it has to get done. I do it, but it's
Hmm.
less interesting than writing a waiver and getting a kid a seventh year or, hey, we caught a violation. We have to report it. So I handle most of that. The way that works in our office is because Trevor trusts me. He's like, hey, we need to write a waiver for this, or we need to report this violation. I'll write it. I'll get all the facts, whatever. And then he'll read it and make sure there's nothing that I forgot or he needs to add or something that, hey, I see what you're trying to say, but let's word it this way so that way it tells the full story a little clearer. And then we
Hmm.
submit it. So, in
Okay.
terms of the enforcement process, that's kind of my main interaction is through there's a software called RSRO, RISRO is what we call it. So it's for
Mhm.
reports and self requests online. That's what it stands for. And so
Okay.
any of the interaction for the enforcement process usually comes through there.
Okay.